that's nice.
That's very pleasant.
I already had a shower this morning. I didn't need another. I didn't think I did anyway.
It's not degreased it very much though, has it? But no, we'll get her on the stand, Fuzz, and we'll see what we've got, shall we?
Clutch and flywheel off?
Yep, we'll take them off. Get some tools.
There's the old coil spring clutch. That is going to be replaced by a much lighter in operation diaphragm spring clutch. Goodbye. So Jace, this is the engine out of our TR4.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I don't think it turns a full revolution. Right. I think that we're going to find something not very well inside.
It's ingested something or something seized, isn't it? For it to do that, because these will just run and run and run and run. So something's wrong.
Okay, shall I take the spark plugs out?
Yes, yeah, let's have a look, because it'd be interesting to see if there's any corrosion on them.
All right.
Or if there's anything telling on the spark plugs.
Number one.
Not too bad, bit of rust. When they've been sat like this one has, the main problem is cylinder heads cracking.
Through expansion of water, just
and they freeze as well with no antifreeze. Because it's sat, the liner seals, where the wet liner sits in the bottom of the block, they just corrode away.
So these are a wet liner engine. So the cylinder walls are like a tube, and then all around it, the water flows. So you've got really good cooling. Number three. Let's see what we've got.
Ah, that's not too bad.
Looks okay.
Yeah, yeah. She's just a little bit furry where it's sat. Yeah. But no corrosion. It's not bent over and it's not smashed. So that's odd. We've got something else going on.
Yep, I think so.
Yeah. We'll take the rockers off. We'll have new rocker gear.
So there's no place in here for old rockers. No. That's dangerous for me. Let me just take that out. Look at that.
Yeah, look at the state of that. Yeah.
Wow.
When it should be. Same as that one, but
yeah. This one is nice and straight. This one's got a right old crook in it. Look at that. You reckon the valve's seized?
It could well be. I think it might be telling because it would appear we've got a valve here that's sitting down slightly as well.
Yeah, okay.
If we can give it a tap, we're not going to hit the piston because there's a combustion chamber in there. We just need to see if it's free.
Okay.
And
well, that's not particularly free.
No. And you can hear the difference. Exactly. That one's moving.
Solid. It's moving down slightly, but it's holding.
It's sticking. So yeah, it would appear we've got an issue with it seizing. But yeah, if we get the head off, we'll have a look a bit further and see what else is going on.
That's true.
This one's seized down. Yeah. That oil's particularly nasty in there as well, isn't it?
That's got the
smell of death.
Filthy oil. Another bent push rod.
The plot thickens.
Yeah.
Right, so if we crack the head off then.
And the camshaft.
Something's going on here. Somebody's used the wrong stud and spaced it out with washers. So the head's definitely been off in the past.
Okay.
This one is too long. It should be a short one, and it appears that it's been swapped around for this one. So someone's been in here before we've got to it. This is the interesting bit, if the head will come up.
Yeah.
So
right, so
we'll give her a gentle tap.
Nice soft hammer.
Yep. She's moving, Fuzz. It's moving. Wow, that's brilliant. That's coming up. Can't believe it. That's it. Up we go. There it goes. Up we come. Wow, it's amazing. Brilliant. There we go.
Well,
that's been sat a long time.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, that's interesting, Fuzz. It's come off in one piece, and what's unusual is you can see it's the machining marks.
Yeah.
This was skimmed freshly before it was laid up, so something's gone wrong. It normally cracks really badly through here. We may have a hairline crack.
Oh, I think so, actually. I think I can see that.
And here.
Oh, yeah.
So we'll get a crack tested.
Yeah. A freshly machined cylinder head with seized valves and cracks.
Yeah.
But it was never going to be right anyway, was it? With the cracks, it meant that it was going to overheat.
Yeah, that's exactly what's going to happen.
Yep.
Yeah, and it's been machined a few times because these pushrod tubes are normally recessed into the heads, and they've lost all of that. So it's had probably a couple of millimetres at least took off it.
Perhaps almost at the limit of its machining.
Yeah, it may be scrap. It may be scrap. Yeah, just here you can see where the head's been machined. These are normally recessed in, they're deep inside the head, these pushrod tubes, and it's been machined so many times they're almost flush now.
You see that? And there.
So should we now see if it turns over? See if we get a full turn, see if it turns over, see if there's any other problems with it, if it's seized, but...
Hold on, there we go.
It's rusty, but it's turning, which is great, which means that makes life a lot easier to get the rest of it apart. The fact you can actually turn the crank, the pistons aren't seized in the liners, so just crack on and get the rest of it apart. If the head was reconditioned and they'd machined the guides too tightly,
for the valves, so the valves didn't move up and down freely.
As soon as they warm up, they nip the valve, stop the valve moving, and it bends the push rod. So,
end of engine.
End of engine.
Give up on car.
Yep. More than likely, that's what it was. Yeah. The head was taken off, reconditioned. Yeah. They've machined the valve guides, and it's just nipped one of the valves because for it to bend the push rod like that, the engine was travelling. Yeah. You know, so it was something that could be done if it wasn't machined perfect clearance for the valve. They get hot, nip the valve solid. Yeah. You know, and it's stuck there now as well. So yeah. So
right then, Jay. So let's see if it goes.
Yeah, it should round. It should turn over, which it does now. Yeah. It's a little bit crunchy. We've got a bit of rust in there, but we're going to take the liners out and replace the liners anyway. So
well, there we go.
But it makes life a lot easier. The fact that we can get the crank turning to dismantle the rest of the engine.
Fabulous.
Yeah, she's absolutely furred up. Yeah. Completely solid with junk. Full up completely almost at the back here. Yeah.
So these here, these holes are the water jacket.
Yep.
So this is where all the coolant circulates around. Now, if the water jackets are full of this crud, water can't circulate, so they get hot and overheat. No wonder it was a troublesome engine. Nowadays, we use antifreeze and coolant with inhibitors in, so it stops all of this rubbish building up.
When we get these liners out, we normally have to hydraulic press them out. They rust in so badly. We very rarely can get them out. And you can actually see on this engine, they're pretty much flush with the top of the block, and they should stand proud. So that would cause a head gasket to fail as well.
Whatever anybody did to the top end of this engine, it was just doomed to fail. Yeah. It wasn't going to work. Yeah. No wonder the woman who sold this car to Kel at the side of the road, she said, "I've had enough of it. Do you want it?"
If you try and put a sticking plaster on these, it just ends up costing you money. Yeah. And you end up falling out of love with it, and it gets sold at the side of the road. Yeah.
Well, we've found, that's it, we've found what's wrong with our engine, really. Yeah. Right?
I'll take the timing chain cover off. So
what you found there, Jay?
There's something going on here, Fuzz. It looks like it may have come from a scrapyard as well.
What's that?
It's got painted on the side here, TR4 in red paint.
Ah, okay, so it's been sitting on a shelf in a shed.
So. Yeah.
TR4, need an engine from a TR4. We've got a great one here.
Yeah. Yeah, I think that's probably what's happened. It's come out of a scrapyard as well.
Reconditioned.
It's had a head gasket.
Yeah.
If you want to leave it with me now, Fuzz, I'll get the rest of it apart. I'll get the engine block stripped down to a bed block. We'll get it away, get it in the acid tank. And then I'll work on the other bits while that's away. And then, I'll get it done as quick as I can for you.
Fabulous.
No problem.
That's great. Well, cheers,
Thank you, Fuzz.